Hello. I don't really know what I'm doing, but um, it was kind of suggested that I talk. So I am. About my struggles with mental health, how I deal with it, or not, depending how it's going. Um, yeah, so I'm 39, 40 next year, and for the last 15, 14, 15 years, I struggled with mental health issues, even though I don't like saying the word issues, but I don't know how else to describe it. Um, it goes back to when I was made redundant from a job I loved, and at the time, I just gone through a lot of stress with getting married, and then buying a first property or flat, mortgage, and all that. They're two really stressful things in the same space of time. And then a month later, got me redundant. Like I said, from a job I loved, and with the extra financial responsibilities of owning your own property. At the time, it was alright. I didn't really notice it, and then as the months went on, that's when I started to struggle and noticed that I wasn't feeling the same. I was feeling low a lot, crying a lot, getting upset over nothing, not wanting to do anything. And then as time went on, it had an impact on my marriage, and things started to slip. We grew apart. I'm sure my ex would probably agree that's what happened. Um, can't tell about time now. Um, it is what it is, and I'm sure on both sides we probably could have tried harder. I know I certainly could have, but it's all in the past now. So that's where it sort of stems from. And then over the years, since I've gone up and down, peaks and troughs, swings and the odd roundabouts, and one thing or another. I'm still here, which is good. I've never had thoughts about harming myself or others. I've also had thoughts about, is it all worth it? As in, why don't I just stay in bed or lay on the sofa and things like that. But yeah, and then over the last 14 years, it's come back. I mean, it never leaves you, does it? It's always there. It's always on the back of your mind. If it's depression, anxiety, the list is endless when it comes to mental health and how you are impacted or affected by it. And it can creep up on you. Over the years, I've had a number of jobs since. I worked for an airline in the call centre, and that was not the most difficult job, but it was just long hours and can be quite stressful, especially if there's disruption, as in weather or cancelled flights or delays or what have you. It can be a bit much, and when you're not in a good mental place, then it can be amplified. I do apologise for the state behind me, the towel and my washing hanging up. But if I do a video, I'll sit somewhere else. But deal with it. And yeah, so. And the way I've sort of handled it in the past is I go down a normal avenue to speak to my GP. Been put on antidepressants in the past, and I had a really bad reaction to some antidepressants for about 10, 11 years ago. So I've been hesitant to go back on them, and not just the normal side effects. I was really ill, and I actually thought I was going to die, just because of how ill I was from them. So yeah, there's that. That's why I don't do pills, antidepressants. So I try other things like therapy. Obviously, there's lots of different types of therapy out there. I do prefer face-to-face, just because it's easy to build that rapport with somebody or that relationship, even though you don't really know them. I find it easier to speak to someone who I don't actually know very well. Over time, you get to know them a bit, and they get to know you, which is good. But I always did it through sort of employment assistant programs. So you get normally 6 free sessions, and then that's it. And over time, back in the past, they were fine for me, but more recently, not so much. So that's why I'm talking to you now. It's just because more recently, really struggled. With my mental health. It all goes back to I stopped sleeping, and I don't really know why. Well, I do know why. Work's full on, and I had to deal with something in my personal life. I'm not going to say too much, but it had a massive impact in my day-to-day life, and I found that really hard. I was moving into a new flat. That was stressful, and it all happened once again. And this other thing, it happened. It is what it is, and at the end of the day, I think the way I look at it, I helped someone who really needed my help to get through a difficult patch from an accident they had. But it had a big impact, so I stopped sleeping, worrying about things. I think I was getting, at the worst point, it got to like 1 hour a night that I was getting. And then obviously it impacts everything else. It impacts your relationships, your friendships, work. I was going to work, but I wasn't really with it. My team, amazing team, they looked after me, but you know when you're not at it, you're not at the races, so to speak. And then you start getting into that cycle, you know, of feeling really low, anxious, panicky, you know, worrying about things, overthinking. People who know me know I'm a terrible overthinker. I'm a worrywart. And it's just a vicious cycle. And it got to the point where at work, I come up to a special event. I'm not going to say where I work, not yet anyway. Come up to a special event, and I'm like, I've got to be there for it. I can't not be off. But people were telling me that I should take some time off to try and sort myself out a bit. And it wasn't that I wasn't listening to them, because I was, but I didn't want to let anyone down. I didn't want to let anyone down or fail them. So I kept going on and on and on, and it got to the point where I sat down with a really good friend of mine who, what was I saying? Yeah, so my friend sat me down, and when I was at work, just before this event, a few days before the event, and the night before I'd got, I think, an hour and a half, 2 at tops sleep, and um, they sat me down, and this friend um, told me, very honest with me, and one of my closest friends, um, and they said, Rob, you can't be here. You need to go. You need to go home. You need to sort yourself out. And it wasn't until when they said that I did realise. I was like, fuck. Yeah, yeah, I think you're right. And I'll never forget that conversation because I mean, people have told me before. Like I said, people have said you need to take time out. You need to focus on yourself. Be selfish. But I didn't want to. Like I said before, I didn't want to let people down or fail anyone. Just because the amount of times I've had to take time out in the past, and I know I'm not a failure, but sometimes you feel like you are, you know, and you feel like you're letting people down. Um, but in reality, well, I guess I did, but and have, but the event was still happening if I was there or not. And if anything, if I was there, there'd probably be no point because I wouldn't have been there in mind. I'd have been too tired to actually function, I think. And yeah, so I got signed off by my doctor the first week. I signed myself off, and then my doctor signed me off for the remaining 3 weeks. I was off for 4 weeks in total. And the first week, I was off really tough because you don't really know what to do. I mean, when you're normally signed off work for being off sick, or you're off sick for work, you don't normally go out places because you have to stay at home and that. But when it comes to your mental health and you're signed off for that sort of reason, then it's better not to be stuck at home. But it's finding the motivation to go out and keep yourself busy and distracted, for want of a better term. And I found it really difficult to start with. My partner, my girlfriend, she is supportive. But obviously she's at work during the day, so can't be with me all the time. Not that I needed it, because sometimes you need your space, don't you? You can't be around the same person 24/7. I had lots of things going on in my mind that first week, overthinking me. I'm laughing because a friend of mine would be like, well, "You overthinker of that is not like you, so out of character." I would say, but I can't help it. Like I said before, I'm an overthinker. I'm an old worrywart, and that's what I do. Even now, I feel much better than I did way back when it all kicked off. But still, I still overthink everything, and I did that quite recently. I'm doing it now. Anyway, so that was the first week. And then as weeks went on, it got a bit easier because I knew help was coming, if that makes sense. And I knew there was sort of light at the end of the tunnel, quite far down the tunnel, but the ball was rolling. My GP was aware, work were aware, friends and family some of them, not all of them, were aware, and I was getting the help that I did. Such as cancelling. And I think I don't know how often these videos are going to be, if at all. This might be the only one I do, but I'd like to do a couple more. I think vlogs, as the youth say today. Humans. I go back to acting like an idiot because that's how I deal with things. Yes, like a road to recovery sort of thing. And like I said, I might do some more videos. I don't know. See what happens. See, I don't care if anyone sees these, and well, I care because I want people to see and realize they're not alone out there. There are people who are also dealing with their own issues. And if it means someone's watched this video and gone, "Fuck me, Rob, I'm feeling a bit like you, mate. I think I might see a GP, or a professional, or someone, or talk to somebody," then that's really cool. If it's just that one person who watches it, go, "Yeah, mate, I'm on it." But it's quite embarrassing as well, because I imagine people I know are going to see this. Oh well. Fuck them. I don't mean it. I need a laptop. You've got to hit crackling the fan inside. I dropped the laptop ages ago. It's fucked. And if you can't hear me, turn it up. So yeah, I'm gonna end it because I'm just waffling now. So yeah, might have a new video, might not. I think I might document it. If the recovery might help, I think, because then I can look back, see how far I've come, or not. Hopefully, have a long way. And use it as positive. Anyway, thank you for listening to me. Thanks for sticking with me. If you've made it to the end, I wouldn't have. I would have given up. I would have given up. 2 minutes in, when I'm just sitting in silence, playing with my hat because I don't know what to do. Anyway, thank you, and I might see you again on YouTube or what have you. Take care, and remember, keep talking.